The forest moon of Altheria 7 was not supposed to have life. At least that's what the colonial surveys had reported. But Mira Lan knew better than to trust corporate assessments. She had spent 6 months cataloging the bioluminescent fungi and crystalline flora that thrived in the moon's perpetual twilight, and every day brought new discoveries that made the official reports look like amateur work. Today's discovery, however, would change everything. Mira found it near the Singing Cliffs, where the wind created haunting melodies through the rock formations. At first she thought it was just another geological anomaly, a cluster of iridescent scales catching the dim light. But then it moved, a weak tremor that sent ripples across its small form. It was a creature, and it was dying. Mira approached carefully, her scanner already active. The readings made no sense. The creature's biology was unlike anything in the known galaxy database. Its body temperature fluctuated between extremes that should have been lethal. Its cellular structure seemed to exist in a state of quantum flux. And strangest of all, it was radiating a form of energy that her equipment could barely detect. The creature was no larger than her forearm, with scales that shifted colors like oil on water. Its wings, fragile, membranous things, were torn and bloodied. 4 eyes, arranged in a diamond pattern on its elongated skull, flickered open to regard her with an intelligence that made her breath catch. "Hey there," Mira whispered, kneeling beside it. "What happened to you?" The creature's mouth opened, revealing rows of crystalline teeth, and a sound emerged. Not quite a hiss, not quite a song. Whatever it was, it carried such profound sadness that Mira felt tears spring to her eyes. She didn't hesitate. Years of field research had taught her to trust her instincts, and every instinct screamed that this moment mattered. Carefully, she scooped the creature into her arms, wrapping it in her thermal jacket. It was surprisingly light, as if its bones were hollow, or perhaps not entirely physical. Back at her research station, Mira worked through the night. The creature, she had started calling it Zephyr, after the gentle way it seemed to float in her arms, was in critical condition. Its wounds were severe, but they were the least of its problems. Mira's scans revealed that Zephyr was suffering from something far worse: energy depletion. The creature needed a specific type of radiation to survive, something that existed in trace amounts throughout the galaxy, but was almost absent on Altheria 7. "You're not from here, are you?" Mira asked, studying the data. "You're not from anywhere near here." Zephyr's eyes tracked her movements, and for a moment, Mira could have sworn she felt something brush against her consciousness, a whisper of thought that wasn't her own. The solution came to her at dawn. Humans were unique in the galactic community for their ability to withstand and even thrive in high radiation environments. Their homeworld, Earth, had bombarded them with cosmic rays, solar radiation, and radioactive elements for millions of years. Evolution had made them resistant, even adaptive to it, and Mira, like all human colonists, carried a small fusion battery in her med kit, a power source that emitted the exact spectrum of radiation that Zephyr needed. She positioned the battery near the creature and watched as Zephyr's scales began to glow. The transformation was immediate and dramatic. The wounds started to close, the torn wings began to regenerate, and those 4 eyes brightened with renewed vitality. But something else happened too. A connection formed between them, a bond that transcended language or species. Mira felt Zephyr's gratitude, its curiosity, its ancient memory of a species that had once soared between stars. She understood without words that Zephyr was a Dragonling, the juvenile form of beings that her people's mythology had imagined but never truly known. And Zephyr understood her. Her loneliness on this distant moon, her passion for discovery, her very human need to help even when helping made no logical sense. Over the following weeks, Zephyr grew stronger. The Dragonling's presence affected everything around it. The bioluminescent fungi near Mira's station began to glow brighter. The crystalline plants grew in new patterns, forming structures that seemed almost architectural. And Mira's own research took quantum leaps forward as Zephyr somehow helped her perceive connections she had never seen before. The bond between them deepened. Zephyr could now project thoughts and images directly into Mira's mind. Through these visions, Mira learned that Zephyr's kind were ancient guardians, beings that traveled the cosmos, nurturing life and maintaining balance. Zephyr had been separated from its parent during a quantum storm, left wounded and alone on this moon. But Zephyr also showed her something else, a vision of the future. Humanity, with its unique radiation resistance and boundless curiosity, was perfectly suited to become partners to the Dragonling species. Where other races feared the energies that dragons thrived on, humans could walk alongside them. Together they could reach places neither could go alone. "You want us to explore together?" Mira asked one evening, watching Zephyr spiral through the air with fully healed wings. The Dragonling landed on her shoulder, its weight now substantial, but not uncomfortable. The answering sensation in her mind was unmistakable. Not just exploration, but something greater. A new era. A partnership between species that would reshape the galaxy's understanding of what was possible. When the supply ship arrived 3 months later, the captain found Mira Lan standing in a forest that now glowed like a cathedral. With a creature of living light perched beside her, she submitted her report with steady hands, knowing it would reach the highest levels of human government. She had discovered a new form of life. She had saved a dying dragonling, and in doing so, she had sparked something that neither humanity nor the ancient dragon species could have achieved alone. The dawn of a new age had begun on a forgotten moon, started by one human girl who refused to walk past a dying creature, and one alien dragonling who chose to trust her. Zephyr's kind would return drawn by the beacon of their lost child. And when they arrived, they would find humanity waiting, not as conquerors or servants, but as partners, as friends, as the one species in all the galaxy that could walk through fire and radiation alongside dragons and emerge stronger for it. Mira looked up at the stars and smiled. The universe had just become infinitely more interesting.